Yes, another episode of Here Comes the Good Part. Episode, who knows? All I know is I'm making progress, and that's what I care about the most. So, gotta give an update on where I am at this stage in building out the shop. Last episode, we had meetings and we were doing painting. As you can see, painting is pretty much done. We got the accent wall in the back popping off. That was the interior designer's idea. It's looking really, really good. We had some clutch meetings in the final hour to make a decision on what color swatch to get, and it's showing up real lovely. So this episode, I want to talk about my mind around business, and I want to talk about it in 3 sections. So we talk about 3 different things along, and just want to do it right now while the energy is like high and I'm feeling it in the shop, so you guys can see the progress of the shop. And then I'll talk about how my mind has been changing, my brain has been changing along with the progress of the actual shop. So the shop is like a physical manifestation, or rather, I think my brain is adapting or moving along as the shop does, because I know it has to grow. So the 3 things I want to talk about: attraction, learning strengths and weaknesses, or maybe 4 things: open-mindedness, and brain capacity, and the ability to think ahead and how much bandwidth our brains have. All right, so let's talk about attraction first. Now, attraction, I'm into the whole energy. I believe in karma. I believe you get out what you put in. I believe you attract what you give, and all of those types of things. So I've noticed that since I've been like working in the shop and getting closer to knocking things off the list and getting closer to the opening date, I would think that, I guess, my confidence is going up, and I'm starting to attract other people now, or attract people, circumstances, conversations that I didn't before becoming the owner of my own business that actually employs people. Because I've had other businesses, but it was just different, and I feel different, and I'm guessing the energy around me is different. And so I knew ahead of time that my network would change, because the people that I interact with have to change, and I have to develop my networking skills, my interpersonal skills, because I'm going to have to be a great leader to my employees. I'm going to have to be good with networking with other people. And I guess because my mind is more open, going into open-mindedness part 1, my mind is more open to the concept of how to attract what I need in my life for myself and for the business. Those things are starting to come into my life. I ran into a lady at Sherman Williams. She was putting me on game about real estate, about just learning how to evaluate people to hire. Right? She was an older black lady. She owned a few properties, and she was giving me compliments on certain things, and about my age. She thought I was younger than I am. I get that a lot often, actually, and it's a humbling compliment. Attracting, like, I just get more and more conversations as people walk past the shop, even if I'm not in the shop. I got on my work gear, so you can either take it 1 or 2 ways. I look like I'm working, or I look like I'm in a very bad place, like I fell on hard times. Most people look at me and still interact with me as if they know I'm in grind mode. Or some people just turn their face up to you because they don't know any better, but I'm not attracted to that type of energy, so I don't pay those people no mind. But I have noticed that, like, people are just looking at me like, yo, what you working on? Or, oh, you turn that to a shop. So say I'm not right in front of the shop, people would be like, oh, what you working on? It's like you've been getting busy on something. If I'm right in front of the shop, taking out some trash, they can see me through the window, or the light is on. They're like, hey, what's coming up? This, that, and the third. Oh yeah, I do this, that, and the third. As a matter of fact, I done met a few people who offered to send me their resumes already, even though I'm not right at that process yet, but I'm getting close, all because of me attracting a new friend, and then that friend has other friends and we're all interested in living healthy, and that next tier friendship, that person is experienced in juicing, and now I may have a new teammate, right? So I'm attracting that type of energy. And then one of my friends, it's not an old friend, it's just, and we didn't have a falling out, we just stopped talking, and it wasn't on a high note. And this was approximately a whole year ago. That person came knocking on the door while I was working in the shop. because that person knows what I'm working on. And this person actually gets credit for being a person who kind of believed in me and acknowledging my gifts or skills or talents, or just acknowledging my work ethic or my, my hustle or wanting to do something. So shout out to her for that. And, I haven't talked to her in a while, but, we still keep tabs. We know what's going on. And sure enough, she knocked on the door. And I was going to give her an invite and tell her to come by and check it out, because she was a part of contributing, some ideas and just good energy in the beginning phases of this. Then we stopped talking for a while, and then the person came back around, and now they want to continue to talk business and just exchange good energy because they see my energy growing, or, what I'm doing is attractive. I'm building something that's bigger than me, that benefits more than myself. And that's intentional. I'm trying to help my community the best way I know how. So I noticed that I've been attracting a lot, and you're going to come across that as you grow as a person in business and personally. If you're working on yourself, you're doing the work, you're going to attract people who are into the type of work that you're doing, that towards the positive end. And if you're doing stuff you don't need to be doing that's negative, probably going to attract that kind of energy. And just giving you a heads up, that's what's going to happen. So be ready for that. You're going to attract good energy. You have to accept it as a good thing. You can't be like, how many people have businesses, successful businesses at that say, I don't like people? Now, we hear people say, I don't like people, or I'm not a people person. How many people like that are successful at businesses that have to do with other people? They might be successful in careers. They may be good doctors. They may be good coders online or something. But they don't have their own business, that, especially not a business that deals with having to hire and fire people, right? It's not that successful. It may be a business, they may be getting paid, but just really think about that. How many people do you know who have kind of a negative attitude towards interaction with people? How many people like that have a successful business? So just keep in mind, you keep that positive energy going, you building some stuff up, you making it happen, you're going to attract people who are into what you got going on. Now, let me talk about learning about my strengths and weaknesses. So right now, I'm currently listening to Ray Dalio's Principles book, right? So Ray Dalio has an investment bond firm. I guess he invests money for other big companies, right? He predicts the market and all that kind of stuff. He kind of predicted the whole housing economic turn down in 2008 crisis, if you want to call it, in 2008. Some other things before. He made some predictions that didn't actually come true. So, he's learned some life lessons. I came across him because I kept hearing about the book, because I listen to podcasts and read books and stuff, so you see other authors. But he is one of Diddy's mentors, and I consider Diddy one of my mentors from afar. So I'm like, well, if Diddy is reading the book and he likes it, and this guy can impart wisdom upon him, let me see what this guy's talking about. So I'm listening to it, and he has these principles that he used to help guide his life and his work. They are very much alike, okay? But he breaks it down in the book for life and work. So knowing your strengths and weaknesses has helped him succeed in his business, and you need to do that for all businesses. You need to do that for all personal growth, which is why it applies to life. But I know my weakness is that I'm willing to take on too many tasks at one time. So I have to learn how to delegate. And with that, that means you have to defer to somebody else who you put in charge to take care of a specific task. Now, also with learning your strengths and weaknesses, you have to be really open-minded. Ray Dalio calls it radical open-mindedness. I've always been a really open-minded person. There are times when I'm in a zone and I'm a bit more closed off to certain things, or I have certain perspectives that I hold tighter to. But I'm pretty open-minded because I'm kind of a balanced guy, and I don't put too much stock in what I believe and what others believe. I just believe more in what's the truth and what's the most beneficial. So if the way I'm thinking isn't as beneficial, then we can just dead that and go with the thing that works the best. And so during this time, I forgot to mention, I've been in the shop 10 straight days. I went from coming in once a week, once every 2 weeks back in August and September, October, when I didn't have that much going on, to optimal commitment, being in here every day, waking up earlier every day than I ever did, to actually do things for a long period of time. So I'm in here, my mind is open to changing my schedule, like changing I'm really big into routine. I had to change my whole routine around because I understand the things I need to get done, right? So I know my strengths is following routine and practicing some discipline. But I got to actually go and change that, being open-minded and changing and do what I got to do to take care of the things I need to take care of. So you got to be open-minded to actually understand your strengths and weaknesses, how you can better use your strengths and improve upon your weaknesses, or at least supplement them with somebody who is strong where you are weak, which leads me to being open-minded.